I look forward to meeting all of you in Novosibirsk. I have never been to your great part of Siberia in Russia, and I'm looking very much forward to it. What I'm going to be talking about is service strategy. How can you take your business, your organization, and crush your competition? I had a chance last November to do a seminar in Moscow with professional conferences, and we had a huge audience, large attendance that was very, very successful. And they decided that your area would be the market that would really understand the power of the customer service strategy and why it's important to crush your competition. What I have noticed in Russia, and I've been here many, many times, starting 20 years ago, you probably thought I looked very young, but I started doing business in Russia, like 20 years ago, and we had contracts signed 18 years ago, in May, in fact. I just looked at the video. And today what we're talking about is how do you drive customer service in your organization? See, we have a limited, if you look at your market area, you should not look just at Novosibirsk. You should take a look at the entire region. Then you should take a look at all of Russia. Then you should take a look at all of the Commonwealth states. And then more importantly, you should look at the world. There's 1.1 billion people on the internet right now. Why do you want to limit your market just to your city? But let me tell you what I'm going to talk about. I'm going to talk about speed. How do you dramatically shrink the time to go from what normally took 8 hours to do it in 1 hour, what took 7 days to do it in 1 day? Because customers, I don't care where you are in the world, love speed. And then we're going to talk about quality. How do we do what we have to do accurately? And then we're going to talk about service. And service is such an intangible thing. In fact, if you ask a customer what's the difference between service and quality, that it's synonymous. It's an intangible. It means different things to different people. And then we're going to talk, how do you eliminate costs? Price is very important to customers. People aren't going to walk into your place of business and say, whatever you want to charge is fine. What I find in Russia is that companies have too many people. There's too much waste. If you want to be a service leader, because every role model is price driven, they eliminate waste. They shrink what needs to get done so they can do it less costly, and they pass the savings on to the customer. So we're going to talk about how do you change the behavior of your total workforce to get every single person customer driven. When somebody calls on the phone, when they walk through the doors, do your employees say, wow, it's a customer? Or do they say, oh, dang, it's another customer. It's a pain walking through the door. See, we have to change the attitudes. Service Quality Institute is the leader in the world in customer service. I've been doing this for 26 years, longer than anybody in the world. I've written many books on customer service. I'd encourage you to take a look at my book in Russian, Achieving Excellence for Customer Service, so you understand the service strategy. I believe that if you attend my seminar in November, there will be several distinctive things that you will learn. First, you're going to learn how to really build market share and market dominance using a very powerful competitive weapon. Number two, you're going to learn the strategy of customer service. I think the reason most companies in the world are crummy at service is they don't understand how you can actually destroy your competition, how you can rapidly grow your business and dominate the market. So we're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about the 6 principles you got to use in order to drive this whole process within your organization. And then we're going to talk about the tools that you can use to change behaviors, change attitudes of the workforce so that everybody, when that email comes through the door, when the phone rings, when somebody walks through the door, everybody says, this is cool. It's a customer. Wow. Instead of, man, let's get rid of this person as fast as we can. I notice and I don't know about in Novosibirsk, but I notice in Moscow there are zillions of security guards. None of them smile. In fact, I suspect service in Novosibirsk is probably better than Moscow. But I notice in Moscow, people don't seem to be real happy. You know, there's been some hard times in Russia that people have had to overcome. So if we're going to change attitudes, if we're going to create a service culture, then we need to take a look at the total workforce, and we have to provide the tools so that your employees understand the power of customer service and they understand why they got to give great customer service. And then most importantly, you got to give them the tools so they can learn how to deliver great customer service. I wouldn't be surprised in Novosibirsk and that whole region that there's not one educational system, institution, that teaches your employees the art of customer service. So if you want to have superior employees, if you want to have the best people working for you, it's going to be your responsibility to educate and train that individual so they can deliver customer service. This is going to be an exciting conference. I guarantee you that your investment will be well worth it. Now, here's a really interesting thing. One of you is going to be winning a free registration for the conferences. All you got to do is send in questions, and the person that has the very best question is going to be given a free registration for the conference. So to me, that's a lot of money. So I would encourage all of you to be sending me questions. I will be reading all of them. You can do it in Russian. They'll be translated for me so that I can read them. I would encourage you to visit our website. We're going to be sending you media articles. We're going to be sending you free chapters of some of my books, my free newsletters. We're going to give you a lot of different things that you can look at. Here's the important thing. If you want to really separate yourself from others in Russia, don't think just of Novosibirsk. Think of the whole country. Think of the Commonwealth states. Think of Europe. Then come to the seminar, because I'm going to share ideas that you can use that work. Everywhere in the world they work. Let me tell you what, I don't care if it's in Moscow or Novosibirsk, people love awesome service. And I'm going to show you how to deliver the kind of service that your customers have never seen before. And if you can take these ideas and put them into action, you will be able to crush your competition. So together with professional conferences, which I have worked with in the past, and we had a very successful conference, we are going to have a great time together in November. Thank you very much, and I look forward to seeing you in my seminar.